What if I told you that one Indian pharma company has posted a 148% surge in profits in a single year? That's not a typo. That is LAURUS Labs. And today, we are going to break down exactly how they pulled off one of the most impressive financial turnarounds in recent Indian pharma history. This is a complete fundamental annual report teardown of LAURUS Labs for financial year 2026. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you will know exactly whether this stock deserves a place in your portfolio or whether the market has already gotten ahead of itself.
Let's start with the business itself, because understanding what LAURUS Labs actually does is the foundation of everything else. Most people know LAURUS as an API company. API stands for active pharmaceutical ingredients, basically the core chemical components that go inside a medicine. That was their starting point, and it remains the foundational core of their business. But over the last 20 years, LAURUS has been climbing the pharmaceutical value chain. The second segment is FDF, finished dosage forms, meaning they now manufacture fully formulated tablets and capsules, not just the raw ingredients.
That's a higher value business with better margins. But the most exciting segment, the one highlighted in green here, is CDMO and biotech, contract development and manufacturing organization. This is the future. This is where LAURUS does contract manufacturing for global pharma companies, and increasingly where they are building capabilities in gene therapies and cell therapies. Put all three together, and what you get is a diversified global platform that has been built methodically over 20 years. This is no longer a commodity chemical supplier. This is an integrated pharma powerhouse.
Now, let's talk numbers, and these are genuinely impressive. Looking at the bar chart here, you can see LAURUS Labs' revenue trend from FY22 all the way through FY26. Revenue started around 6,000 crore in FY22, grew in FY23, dipped slightly in FY24. That dip was due to global pricing pressures, and then bounced back strongly in FY25 and FY26. For FY26, total revenue hit 6,813 crore, which is a 23% year-on-year increase.
But the real story is the green line on that chart, net profit. Net profit absolutely exploded in FY26, jumping to 889 crore, which represents a staggering 148% increase year-on-year. Let that sink in. Profits nearly 2.5 times what they were just 1 year ago. And it's not just top-line revenue driving this. EBITDA margins expanded from 20.1% to 26.8%. And that improvement is being credited specifically to better factory utilization, meaning they're sweating their assets more efficiently. The turnaround is real, it is broad-based, and it is happening across the entire income statement.
So now let's look at where exactly these revenues are coming from, because the mix tells an important story. This part here shows a donut chart splitting LAURUS Labs' revenue into two segments. The larger piece, 69% of total revenue, which works out to 4,733 crore, comes from affordable medicines, which is essentially their generics business. This is the cash cow. This is the stable, high-volume engine that keeps the lights on.
The remaining 31% comes from contract services, which is the CDMO business. Now here is the part that should excite growth investors. That CDMO segment grew 36% this year. 36%. And it's described as the high-margin growth engine. So what you have is a reliable generics base funding an aggressively growing CDMO business that commands far better margins. In terms of global reach, LAURUS serves over 275 customers across the US, the EU, and Japan. And crucially, 7 of those customers are big pharma companies. Those big pharma relationships are incredibly sticky and validate LAURUS as a serious global manufacturing partner.
A strong income statement means nothing if the balance sheet is a mess. So let's check whether LAURUS Labs' financial foundation is solid. This is presented in 3 key metrics here. First, the debt-to-equity ratio stands at 0.45. And importantly, the slide notes this has improved. Total debt has been conservatively reduced to 2,397 crore. That is a company actively deleveraging while simultaneously growing, a very healthy sign. Second, the interest coverage ratio, measured as net debt to EBITDA, stands at 1.3 times.
What this means in plain English is that operating profits comfortably cover the cost of their loans. There is no debt stress here. Third, free cash flow, and this is impressive. They generated 1,624 crore from operations, and after subtracting heavy capital investments, they still had a free cash flow surplus of 554 crore. The bottom line on balance sheet safety? This company is in good financial health. They are investing aggressively in growth without compromising their financial stability.
Beyond the balance sheet, we need to look at how efficiently LAURUS is using the capital that shareholders and lenders have entrusted to them. And FY26 marks a genuine recovery here too. Return on equity, ROE, jumped to 16.8%, up sharply from just 8% the previous year. Return on capital employed, ROCE, climbed to 17.7%, up from 9.7%. Both of those metrics essentially doubled in 1 year. That is capital efficiency coming back with a vengeance after the FY24 downturn.
However, and this is important, the slide flags a significant catch. LAURUS has a heavy cash cycle. Inventory sits for 126 days on average, and debtors take 114 days to pay. Add those together, and you've got over 240 days of capital tied up in working capital at any given time. For a manufacturing business this capital intensive, that's a real drag, and investors should keep an eye on how management addresses this over the coming years.
This is arguably the most exciting part in the entire video because it lays out the blueprint for LAURUS Labs' future. Management has committed to a 5,000 crore, roughly $600 million capital expenditure plan, and this timeline shows exactly how it is being deployed. Starting in late 2026, commercial peptide validation launches. Peptides are a fast-growing category in pharma, sitting between small molecule drugs and large biologics. This is a new and higher margin market for LAURUS. Then, in March 2027, the Greenfield Unit 7 facility commences production. This new manufacturing plant will significantly expand capacity and directly drive future revenue growth.
By mid-2027, Phase 1 of the KRKA finished formulation facility opens. This is tied to their European partnerships and moves them further up the value chain in finished dosages. And long-term, development begins on a massive 532-acre secured land in Visakhapatnam. 532 acres is an enormous land bank that gives LAURUS an almost unlimited runway for future capacity expansion over the next decade. This pipeline of catalysts is what the market is paying a premium for. Given all that expansion, how is LAURUS actually allocating its capital between reinvestment and returning money to shareholders? This slide makes the strategy crystal clear, and it is squarely a growth-first approach. Capital expenditure for FY26 was 1,070 crore, representing 16% of revenues spent on physical expansion. Research and development spending was 282 crore, about 4.1% of revenues, which funds a team of 1,540 specialized scientists. On the other side of the ledger, dividends are a modest 2 rupees per share, consistent over a 5-year track record. The payout ratio is just 14.6%, meaning roughly 85% of net profits are being retained for aggressive growth projects. If you are buying LAURUS Labs for dividend income, this is not the stock for you. But if you believe in their expansion story, the reinvestment strategy is exactly what you want to see. Every rupee of profit being plowed back into building the next growth engine. For institutional and ESG-conscious investors, this part of the video is worth paying attention to. LAURUS Labs scores well across all 3 pillars of ESG. On the environment front, they have cut emissions by 2.2% and are committed to a 42% emissions reduction target by 2031, aligned with the Science-Based Targets Initiative, a credible international framework. On governance, this is the one highlighted in the middle with a cyan border, signaling it as the standout. LAURUS cleared 132 regulatory audits with 0 critical findings.
In an industry where a single bad FDA inspection can derail an entire company's stock, this is an extraordinary compliance track record. On the social side, they reported 0 lost-time injuries in their facilities and have been certified as a great place to work for the 6th consecutive year. Clean books, clean factories, and a well-run organization. The ESG profile here is genuinely strong and reduces one important category of risk for long-term investors.
No investment analysis is complete without an honest look at the risks, and this part here lays out 4 key threats clearly. First, regulatory risk. LAURUS is highly exposed to US FDA and WHO audits. As we noted, they have an excellent track record, but the business reality is that one bad inspection can halt entire manufacturing lines overnight. That tail risk never goes away in this industry. Second, capacity risk. They are building massive new plants based on demand projections. If clients back out or orders don't materialize at the scale expected, fixed costs stay high while revenues disappoint, and margins can crash.
Third, pricing vulnerability. A significant portion of LAURUS's revenue comes from HIV and antiretroviral drugs sold through global health tenders. These tenders are subject to sudden and sharp price drops driven by global procurement bodies. FY24's pain was partly caused by exactly this dynamic. Fourth, currency exposure. With a substantial portion of revenues denominated in US dollars and euros, any rupee appreciation or lack of proper hedging can meaningfully impact reported earnings. These 4 risks, regulatory, capacity, pricing, and currency, are the key variables every LAURUS investor must monitor.
Let's now address the elephant in the room, the valuation. LAURUS Labs currently has a market capitalization of 53,600 crore, firmly in large cap territory. And the trailing price-to-earnings ratio sits at approximately 60.3 times. Let that number sink in. 60 times earnings for a generics pharma company is not cheap. Traditional generic pharmaceutical companies in India typically trade anywhere from 20 to 35 times earnings. LAURUS is trading at nearly double that.
What the market is essentially doing is paying today for the successful execution of tomorrow's biotech and CDMO expansion plans. The market is pricing in flawless execution of Unit 7, the peptide launches, and the KRKA facility. There is very little margin for error built into this share price. For believers in the LAURUS story, that premium reflects genuine long-term potential. For skeptics, it means the stock needs to keep delivering perfectly quarter after quarter to justify where it is trading today.
Let's bring it all together in a classic SWOT framework. On the strength side, a 148% profit jump in 1 year, a flawless regulatory audit record with 132 clean audits, and strong balance sheet deleveraging. These are genuine competitive advantages. On the weaknesses side, a heavy cash cycle of over 230 days, which ties up enormous working capital, and a low dividend payout ratio that means income investors have little to gain here.
On the opportunities side, peptide validation launches expected in 2026 open a new high-margin market, and that 532-acre land bank in Visakhapatnam represents an almost unlimited long-term expansion runway. On the threat side, US FDA regulatory risks that can never be fully eliminated in this business, and global geopolitical freight disruptions that can impact supply chains and cost structures. The SWOT picture tells you this is a high-quality, high-growth business, but one that comes with meaningful risks and a price tag that assumes perfection.
So here is the final verdict on LAURUS Labs. The good news? This is genuinely a masterclass in structural corporate turnaround. The business is financially strong, efficiently run, and is transitioning with purpose into the higher margin world of biotech and CDMO services.
The management has demonstrated operational discipline, maintained a clean regulatory record, and is deploying capital with conviction.
The catch, that 60.3 times price-to-earnings ratio means the market has already priced in perfection. There is no discount for risk here. The actionable insight for investors is this: watch the next 12 to 18 months closely. Timely execution of Unit 7's production launch and the peptide validation commercialization are the two events that will either justify this premium or expose it. If Laurus delivers on both, this stock has a compelling path forward. If there are delays or disappointments, the downside from these levels could be significant. This is a high-conviction growth story, but it demands high-conviction patience and risk tolerance to go with it.
What's your take on LAURUS Labs? Do you think the 60 times PE is justified by the growth runway ahead? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this LAURUS Labs annual report for FY26 deep dive helpful, don't forget to like, save, and share this video. Follow and subscribe to ZinvestZ for more smart investing insights. Thanks for tuning in.